How's it going, guys? I'm Mike Dwyer from the Bunker Recordings and BetterMixes.com, and today I want to show you a quick little tip on how to get certain elements of your mix wider. So I got this track to mix recently, and it's got some background vocals doing ahs, kind of making a pad. But the problem was I only got one single performance of each of the two parts. And this being the chorus of a really big, dense pop-punk track, I needed these ahs to be really wide to both get out of the way of the lead vocals and to add some extra width to the chorus. So first let's take a listen to what we got with just a little bit of compression and a little bit of reverb on them. So obviously we're getting a little bit of width from the reverb, but not nearly as much as we're going to need for this. So the first thing I did was put this Waves doubler plugin on. So what this does is it adds a short delay to the left and right channel, which are different. You can see the left channel here is about 9 milliseconds and the right is about 23. And then it also pitch shifts them slightly. So again, here the left is shifted up 6 cents and the right is shifted down 6 cents. So this will do a fairly decent job of making it sound like we got two different tracks for each one of these two harmonies, which is how I kind of wish it came in the first place. This isn't going to sound as realistic as two actual different takes, but in this case it'll do. So let's hear it with those. Alright, so now we're getting somewhere. Now, a quick little bonus tip here is I use the same settings on both of these. I think this is just the default setting with the direct signal turned off. But you can see here I panned this track opposite of this one. And by doing that, on this track, we're hearing the left channel hit a little bit earlier because of the delay difference and be a little bit higher. And then on this one, the right channel will be hitting a little bit earlier and be a little bit higher. It just helps to make it sound a little bit more balanced. Now, obviously, I could have just came in here and adjusted the settings on the second channel, but this is just a quick, easy way to do that. Okay, so now for the main point of this video. Let's just solo up this harmony here. And this is what I use to get it even a little bit extra wide beyond what the doubler could do. And for it, I'm using FabFilter Pro Q3. All right, so I got a kind of crazy curve going on here. First, we've got a low cut. That has nothing to do with this trick. That was just filtering out all the low end I didn't want. I wanted these to be really kind of bright and airy. So the main thing we want to look at is these four moves in the middle. So typically with an EQ, when you create a booster cut or whatever, it's going to be applying that to both the left and the right channel. But what I did here was separate them and give each of the left and right channels a boost in a separate area of the mid-range. In this case, I boosted just the left side at 3.5K and just the right side at 2K, and then gave a dip at the same frequency to the opposite channel. So I cut the left side at 2K and cut the right side at 3K. So ultimately what this is doing is it's just making our left and right channel a little bit more different. And again, this is because we only had one vocal here. We didn't have a true double since we had to fake it with the Waves doubler, which does a decent job, but still, it's not as wide as two actual takes. This is helping to give us that. You can also see I put my low pass filter at slightly different frequencies and slopes, but in this case, we're just going to focus on these four midbands. So I'm going to turn all four of these on and off while we're listening to this vocal. And when they're on, you should hear it just get a little bit wider. I'm actually going to turn the reverb off to make it a little bit more obvious. So hopefully you can hear that. It's especially obvious if you're wearing headphones. But to make it even more obvious, I'm going to crank the gain on these to really exaggerate the difference. I'm going to go like way too far with it, but just so you can hear what it's doing. So yeah, obviously that is way too extreme. That 3.5K is absolutely killing my ear at that much boost. But you can hear when I bypass all of those that it really just like collapsed into the middle quite a bit. So we'll just put that back to where we had it, right there. And one more time, I will turn these on and off. So listen for the difference again. And of course, it's not only vocals that you could do this to. You could do this to synths. You could do this to guitars. Just anything where you want it to be extra wide. Just for demonstration purposes, let's try the same thing on guitars. So this is our guitar sound as is. But if we wanted to get them a little extra wide, here I'm boosting the left channel at 2.5K and cutting the right channel at 2.5K, and then boosting the right channel at 1K and cutting the right channel at 1K. So again, I will turn those on and then I will bypass it and turn it back on while it's playing. And let me crank the gain again to make it more obvious. So the next time you're trying to get an element of your mix just a little bit wider, or if you're trying to create just a little bit of differentiation between two parts, give this a try. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. And head on over to bettermixes.com to grab a free copy of my Ultimate EQ cheat sheet.